Hey, my Taurus babies, how you doing? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot, getting ready to do the weekly update. We are rolling tomorrow, Monday, January 3rd. Happy New Year. And what did I say? We're going to run this to the 12th. I don't know why the 12th is sticking out of my head for some reason, but it is. So I'm going to cover my bases this evening and make sure that we get all the hoo-ha with the hoo-ha. Let's flip these puppies over and see what we got going on. Knight of Wands, fast moving energy. Two of Wands, more quick ass shit. And the Empress. That is definitely Taurus all day long. The High Priestess. Two of Pentacles, change. And the Five of Swords, defeat. So let's get the heavyweight out the room, because everybody's like, it says defeat, what do you mean? These are swords, so let's clear that part up first. Let's take a step back. Two of Pentacles in this deck talks about change, but here we got defeat with the Five of Swords. Don't let your thoughts, start there, fuck up what's changing, because there's some shit that's just gonna change. Do not overanalyze, overthink, overprocess, none of that shit. Don't do it. Look at whatever the situation is. For some of you, it may be romantic. For some of you, it may be work. For some of you, it may be family related. For some of you, it might be finance related. Whatever the situation is, it's about to change or is changing. Look at it. Look at the situation for what it is. Don't let your mind play tricks on you. And if you look at all that activity with the cards and the swords, yeah, don't let your mind, don't bluff yourself into some bullshit. That's what I'm going to say. Don't overthink it. Let shit be what it is. Let the changes, I hate to tell Tauruses to go with the damn flow, but that's exactly what the fuck. That the Fortitude card is sitting up underneath this, I don't see no mistake there. That's what it is. And then the Princess of Swords is underneath that. So definitely just go with the flow. And just hang on. This is the best part of that I can say. The High Priestess, y'all know, this baddest bitch on the planet, as far as I'm concerned. Her and the Empress. They make the world go round. Fuck it all. But you need to have some Empress type qualities this week and going into the next week. Remember that the Empress knows her worth. That's the message there. She knows her. She rarely here with a purple passion bath, and she's just in it. Like, yeah, I am that bitch. And that's really the attitude you need to have. Don't let them see you sweat. That shit right there. With the little cards, and they're little in size, not necessarily in energy. Don't get that part fucked up. We go from the High Priestess to the Empress. And I said it wrong, but the High Priestess knows her worth. I'm sorry, and I'm looking at one and talking about the other one. I'm putting them together now. Fuck it. The High Priestess, this one, and the Empress, since I can't get the shit out my mouth right, they both know their worth. Let's just put that out there. The High Priestess is just that bitch. And like I said, she's luxuriating in her purple bath. She know it all, is all. Empress is right on her ass. 2 and 3. In that order. So there's definitely an emphasis and an energy here of knowing who you are. in knowing who you are, you know how to deal with all kind of shit because you know your limits, you know your truth, you know where your boundaries should be. Just put that out there. So, and especially at work, energy related here. I mean, what do you do after a long day of work? That part. Some of you might need to boss up. That energy is there too. That we got both the baddies on the board is telling me you need to carry it that way. And if you need to come home and cry and sit in the middle of the floor at the end of the day, do it. But don't let nobody else see you crying and sweating. Do what you do the best you can do, and leave the rest of it. Let somebody else deal with it, worry about it. Don't start trying to, don't spread your energy too thin trying to help somebody else do some shit. Do your shit. Run your shit. Stay in your lane. That part. The Knight of Wands. Some of you romantically, this is sitting on top of the Seven of Cups, so I know this is absolutely correct. Romantically, some shit's getting ready to pop off, and it's going to happen fast. This is definitely not the Knight of Pentacles with his slow ass. This is the Knight of Wands. His ass is on fire. The horse's ass is on fire. That's why you can't see the horse's ass off the picture and burnt it off. What the hell you want me to tell you? Moving quickly. That it's sitting on top of the Seven of Cups. Some of you got more than one option. But look at your options. Just saying. Not lost on me that that's sitting on top of that. The Two of Wands, it's time to start planning, visualizing, put it that way, your future. Ten of Wands is what's underneath. And this is the work that you exert, the effort you put into a relationship. A lot of times this and a ten of swords, they're about stress and wore out. But in this instance, the energy here is about the work that goes into a relationship. And to have a good one, you got to put in some work. So that requires some visualization, some planning, and some soul searching for some of you. You might need to just get down to brass tacks. What is it that you really want out of a relationship? That might be a good question to deal with at the beginning of this year. Let me tell you this. We are just right now in that 2-week hang period right before Mercury retrograde. Some of you may already be feeling it, trying to take the Christmas tree down and the whole thing just falls apart and everything on it falls apart, that kind of shit. This feels like a more technical Mercury retrograde, so more of the technical aspects of what can fuck up computers, cars, tires, sensors, cell phones, that kind of shit. So double check. Make sure all your passwords and shit are intact. We got 4 Mercury retrogrades. This first one starts January 14th, goes to February 3rd. The second one starts May 10th, goes through June 2nd. Third one starts September 9th, goes through October 2nd. And word to the wise right now. If you will have a big ass Christmas list for next year, for this end of this year, start shopping now. Mercury retrograde, the last one of this year, starts December 29th. So you know the better part of December is going to be that shadow period. Order shit, get shit early. That last one runs through June 18th, 2023. So you see how you're going into 2023 already. Going in on a Mercury retrograde. So just be ready. Nothing to fear, nothing to fret over. But definitely a time to be prepared. So you got the knowledge. Prepare in a time of peace, like they used to tell me when I was little. We got the power card on the front end. Let's see what we got on the back end. Prince of Swords. They're thinking. The hacker. Challenge. Got a tower. Okay. There you go. First week. This is not a bad year, folks. Let me just put that out there. So whenever some of these cards that come up normally with a whole lot of shifting and changing and shit, don't tag on to your usual energy like, oh God, it's going to be maybe some challenges this year, But for the most part, Taurus is going to have it made. The tower moments and the upsets that do occur, you're definitely going to see the reason behind them occurring. It's not going to be like, oh, it was just a tower moment and just fucked everything up. Nope. Not even that kind of party. So, just know that. Just know that. Oh, y'all flopping out tonight. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh. Big cards is hard to get out. Failure. Now be mindful, we're in shadow. So a lot of what you're seeing is going to have shit to do with the past. Just be mindful of that before you go tripping the fuck out. Yeah, there it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Give me one more. 12. So just about the time Mercury retrograde kicks in, most of y'all will be ready for a break. That's the last card on the board. Now let's put some meaning to all these big cards and see what we got. Oh, too many. Three of Cups on the front end. Seven of Swords on the back end. Queen of Wands goes in the challenge position on top of the Tower. The World card goes on top of the Justice card. And just a reminder, I don't do reversals. I read everything straight up. Two of Pentacles on top of the Three of Pentacles. Or, I'm sorry, Five of Pentacles on top of the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Wands on top of the Six of Swords. And they're coming out two at a time. The Star card is pulling the Eight of Swords. Ace of Wands is pulling the Rock Star is pulling the Ace of Wands. Knight of Pentacles on top of the Prince of Wands. A lot of activity. Seven of Pentacles is pulling the Five of Swords. Yeah, come on, y'all. King of Wands on top of the Prince of Cups. Or the filmmaker. The Happiness or the Nine of Cups gets the Star card, and that's the second time the Star card is on the board. No. Only need one. Just one. And the Four of Cups is on top of the Nine of Swords. No, I'm sorry. Four of Cups on top of the Hermit. Counting numbers and not reading words. There I go. You've got the power. Let's put all the big shit out here first. You got the power. And that's the front end of your overall energy. Whatever setting you find yourself in this week, you the boss. That part. Once again, that Empress and that High Priestess, that right there, you the boss. Three of Cups, whatever social setting, even at work that you're in, they're going to defer to you because you the boss. Work it out, whether you are actually the boss or not. People are just instinctively going to know that you know. And because you're carrying this energy on the top, they're going to feel it. So they're going to come to you first. So don't get frustrated or flabbergasted or flubbered or whatever, because they're coming to you. So just go to bed early tonight and get over it, and go to bed early for the rest of the week. Be on your game because they're coming to you. The back end of your overall energy, the Prince of Swords or the Hacker with the Seven of Swords, you're going to have to use your skills this week. Hacker is no slouch in what they do. They know their shit very well. So you need to be on top of your shit. And you might have to pull some tricks this week. I'm going to just put it where it is. You might have to. So let's get this out in the open. I'm not talking about stealing nothing or doing nothing, but you may have to bend some rules. Just saying that it's air energy is telling me that you need to think about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because you may have to bypass some folks to get some things done. Once again, that top end of that overall energy, you're the boss. You got the power card. So it is what it is. They don't have to like it. But whatever you come up with, whatever you come out with, you should be the authority on what you're talking about. Do not drift off into shit you don't know nothing about. And if it's something you don't know something about, speak on it. I know this part, I don't know that part. People will respect that out of you, and they'll expect it out of you. Put it that way. The challenge. Queen of Wands is that sexy bitch. You know, she's all covered up, but you know she's sitting on firecrackers and dynamite. What the hell? Again, the same High Priestess, Empress energy. You it. The challenge is realizing when you're it. There are going to be some tower moments. Everybody gonna have a little bit of emotional whatever. I don't know. This is a different kind of year. This is not like the last couple of years where everybody's just been like, what the fuck, angry, whatever. This year, people are trying to get in touch with their emotions. And so you may find more people are a little more weepy. They want to tell you their damn life story on the bus, on the train, or at the coffee cooler, coffee maker, or the water cooler at work. People are just going to be more inclined to come to you with this. Your task here is to know that there's going to be tower moments going on around you. That does not mean that you should lose your cool. Now, it's the Queen of Wands, so she's hot as a firecracker once again, but she's still a cool bitch. She ain't running around trying to be all up in anything. She just is who she is, and when she's needed, she gets up, and when she's not, she sits down. That part right there. So when shit just starts popping off, just stay in your lane energy, but be that boss. Be that person, but don't overdo anything. Looking at the beginning of this week, some of you are worrying. You're worrying about how things are progressing. So we start with the center first. Get working on shit. You're working on shit. But that Five of Pentacles, that change and that worry and that anxiety of trying to get from one place to the other, you may not feel like you have all the resources. You may feel like you don't know it all. Once again, we come back to that Seven of Swords energy. To work your way through some shit. That Prince of Swords, the Hacker, you might have to bend some rules to do it. Don't let your insecurities get the better of you. And just keep in mind, things are in progress. Don't forget, Mercury is retrograde. There's new chapters for many of you on many different levels. And you got the Justice card sitting underneath. Some of you may be dealing with Libras on whatever level, romantically, whatever. But whatever's going on in your life right now, now you're getting what you want. The universe is kind of throwing it out here. Yeah, we know we fucked up, we missed you, we bypassed you, whatever. Some of you could be getting a promotion, things coming back into balance for you. So areas of your life that have been out of balance. It's almost got a karmic note to it. Just expect things to get back in balance. Things that haven't been happening in your life or whatever area, expect to see some activity going on in that area. This starts a new chapter. And don't forget the World card. World card also represents knowledge. And so you're bringing what you know forward. There's also a touch of the past in this, and rightfully so, going into Mercury retrograde. So you may be running into getting phone calls from, text messages from people from your past. Whether or not you take them into this new chapter is going to be totally up to you. That part. In some instances, you won't have a choice. Once again, the Justice card is going to bring shit to balance. So if there are people trying to poke their head in and the universe sees that's going to throw you out of balance, universe may well just move them right on out the way. So still that go with the flow energy, but recognize that the universe is bringing things back into balance. Follow that Three of Wands. And these threes are telling me there's something in the work. Something is in process. The Wands represents the action. The Pentacles represent the resources that go along with the action. So, of course, you need the resources first. There they are. As long as you're not worrying, throw out to the universe what it is that you need or what it is that you want and let it go. There's the action. Follow the policy. I don't know who the hell I'm talking to, but follow the policy. Now, again, you got the Seven of Wands up here on top of the Prince of Wands, that hacker activity, that getting away with shit. But you got to know the policy to break the policy. Yes? Got to know the law to break the law. And by no means am I encouraging anybody to do some more fake fraudulent shit. But sometimes there are loopholes. So you're supposed to have XYZ done by Friday, and you know there's no possible way that can happen. You need to start answering the question why it's not happening now. Meetings, telephone calls, whatever. But have it together. Have it together, because you're going to end up breaking the policy, but you need to have good solid reasons behind your action. That part. As long as you can prove why you didn't do something or why you took the shortcut, you'll be fine. If you just take the shortcut and you have no backup answer about why you took the shortcut, you know how you're going to be looking. It just is what it is. As we get into the weekend, the end of the week, don't let your belief system, especially if you're operating on some old bullshit, keep you from getting a visit from the fairy. So all the hopes and wishes and dreams and shit, that part. Don't let your belief system put you in prison. As soon as she unbinds herself and takes off that damn blindfold, you're going to see she's standing in the middle of her brain, killing everything she's trying to get. This is tricky energy. Knowing when to hold on to something and when to let go of something, especially old beliefs, especially about people from your past. Past coming back, not that far from Mercury retrograde. Just be aware of that. With the Ace of Wands on top of the Rock Star, which is the Knight of Wands, there may be someone from your past trying to kick off some new action. Once again, it's going to be up to you. Back to this World card, who you let in and who you don't let in. This person or people or situation might have all the tweeters, bells, and whistles going off in your head like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. Be careful with that, because this could be the beginning of some bullshit. somebody trying to rush in with, and bombard you, baffle you with bullshit and bombard you with dumbass brilliance, that type shit. Don't lose that high priestess energy. That high priestess uses that third eye. She uses her intuition to get over on a lot of shit. Just know that part. So follow your intuition. If you think somebody's coming back, if your stomach is telling you hell no, run in the other direction. The Knight of Pentacles, some of you are getting ready to get started with this Prince of Wands down here on specific projects. Might require you to do a lot of writing. This is a journalist card in this deck. It's going to be slow going. Just know that. But if you accept the offer and the idea to do whatever it is or participate in whatever it is, just know that it's got some slow going energy. There may be some delays, especially if you're going to start something this close to a Mercury retrograde. If you feel like the project is worth it, go for it. If it's got anything to do with finances, always get it in writing and get part of your money up front. Ain't nothing like working for free and find out at the end of it they wasn't trying to pay you anyway. So make sure you got your finances in order. If anybody's talking about paying you, make sure you get a part of your money up front. That part. We get into the beginning of next week, very tippy end of the weekend. Again, this mental energy. If you can keep your thoughts on point for the next week or so, things should go well. If you start rehashing and thinking about past relationships, past failures, past, because we're going into Mercury retrograde, you might be setting yourself up for some fuckery. I'm just saying. So don't let your thoughts, it's cool to go back down memory lane and remember things or whatever, but don't let your thoughts and old emotions get you caught up. That's definitely a thing. The filmmaker with the King of Wands sitting on top. We are the producers of our movies. We want to consider life a movie. All the world's indeed the stage, and we are merely players. Let Shakespeare talk about it. Just remember that you're the filmmaker in your film. So you very much can determine who's going to be the lead actor or actress, who's going to get supporting work out of you, and who's going to be an extra. You get to choose that in your own experience. So don't let somebody else superimpose what they trying to do. That's the King of Wands. Don't let somebody else's action have you calling cut because they trying to throw some extra shit in. Again, that is sitting up underneath this Ace of Wands and the rock star. It's not lost on me. Somebody may try to play on your emotions, and get you to do something that good and well is not going to bring you anything but a whole lot of heartache and pain, especially if it's something you've been through before. My best suggestion to you at this point when it comes to that kind of energy, those kind of people or situations in your experience, do your best to bypass them. Tell them you call them back. Tell them you're in a meeting. Tell them you got to go pick up the kids. Whatever it is you need to do to get them off the phone, you may have to do that through all of Mercury retrograde with people that you really don't want to deal with, but you don't feel like being confrontational with at any given point. Just put them on wait a minute, as we say back east. Just put them on wait a minute and let the dust settle. If you need to pass the Mercury retrograde and deal with it at a later point, you can always say beginning of the year, the holidays, this, to that. Whatever, had to work extra, whatever. But if you can avoid people that you know are going to fuck up your energy, do that. The Star card sitting on top of the Nine of Cups, happiness. You're going to see all this coming to fruition. Those of y'all that have been sitting and waiting patiently for the past 24 months, I promise you should be seeing some of it now. I'm just going to say that. Be careful how you handle somebody else's cups. I.e., be careful how you handle somebody else's emotions. You don't want your emotions all jacked up. So don't go jacking up somebody else's. Now, I'm saying this to those of you who may be getting in a situation, but you're not 100% sure. And sometimes that happens. You just don't know till you know. But don't play with anybody's cups. And if you're in something and you feel like you need to get out of it, you say it sooner rather than later, and don't put it off, and don't none of that stuff. The 4 of Cups sitting on top of the Hermit. By the time we get to the 12th, many of you are going to need that rest. This is usually about the 4 of Cups is usually about the grass being greener on the other side. Some of you are just going to take the time out. Somebody may make an offer, an emotional offer. Could be a present person, a past person, or somebody you haven't met yet. And you may decide, I need to take a minute, sit here and think about it. Fuck it. I'm going to just sit in the middle of the street and think about this till I'm done thinking. There's no rush, Taurus. Let me say that one more time. There's no rush. Don't let somebody else's crisis get you set up off your throne. Just put that there. That's a challenge. Don't let somebody else's crisis get you put up off your throne. That pretty much for the year should be Taurus's mantra. Not going to let anybody fuck up my vibe this year. That should just be what it's going to be. A lot of people are going to try to do that because their apple carts are upset. So, you know, misery loves company like I know it. Don't get into that. Don't get into it. Keep the positive frame of mind that you come into the new year with, that you worked so hard for, because I know y'all have. Oh, you need a better plan. Hold it. Patience, my dear, patience. One more, universe. One more, please. Someone is watching. Oh, 2 came out. Only if you let it. Well, it's all true. So here, do it because you want to. So this project I was talking about, the Knight of Pentacles, whatever it is, if you do this, if you decide to do this, yes, make sure the money is right. Yes, make sure you get money up front. But if you're doing it, do it because you want to and not any other reason. Don't let somebody persuade you and talk you up on a whole bunch of bullshit simply because they don't want to do it and they know you'll do it, but you don't have the passion to do it. If you ain't got the passion this year to do things, I'm telling you now, don't do it. You need a better plan. This goes out to you that got exes that you don't really know what you would do. If they did reach out to you, I promise you they're getting ready to reach out to you, and you need a better plan than what you got. If you bump into them at the store, what's the plan? If they call you, what's the plan? What's the plan? And this is particularly to those situations that maybe didn't have full closure. You need to have a better plan. You need to get it together with what you're going to say. Get it, and even if you can't follow through with the exact words or the exact thing, or it's not the exact situation you envision, if you're not trying to go down that path, you need to know how to deal with it or have a plan to deal with it. Some of y'all got some admirers. I'm telling you, somebody is watching you, winking. They're going to make themselves known, so don't worry about trying to figure it out. But just know, so if you think you might know who it is, just, get your hooves polished up, fluffy up your tail, do the whole thing. Only if you let it. So, once again, what popped up on the cut? The High Priestess and the Empress. Should only bother you if you let it. And don't let it, that part. Be patient. Whatever it is you're waiting on, be patient. Again, Knight of Pentacles on the board, it's in play. There may be some other projects that are going that are obviously going to slow down because of Mercury retrograde. Be patient with that. Don't feel like you have to force anything. Definitely this week, go with the flow. Know your boundaries. Know who you are. Know your truth. Know where you are in the scheme of things. And don't let people see you sweat. I love you, my bull babies. Have a good week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.